Right, so thank you for coming to my talk today. I'm Kaylee Kipe, and I am the lead project manager at Hibou Corp. So we are a US and Peru-based Odoo partner. Today we're going to be talking about the wonderful world of commissions, which I'm sure everybody loves this topic. So let's get started. So commissions come in many forms, and they can be provided to a variety of employees. So gone are the days where commissions were a salesperson-only employee incentive. These days, commissions are also often provided to support, managerial, and marketing roles. As for the why of commissions, and also why it's been extended outside of the traditional salesperson role, is because everybody likes money. I think that's fair to say. If you have money and you don't like money, please come and talk to me after this. But if everybody likes money, then it stands to reason everybody likes more money. So thus, incentivizing employees by allowing them to reap the profit-sharing benefits of their work can be useful to kind of motivate employees across a variety of roles. But there are a lot of considerations when it comes to creating your own commissions program and how you're going to implement that in your business in a way that works not just for the employee, but for your business as well. So how are these commissions going to be generated and paid out? Is the salesperson going to get a percentage of the total invoice to a customer? Or perhaps they're only going to get a percentage of the margin on an invoice to a customer, right? This is about profit sharing, so you may only want to pay out a percentage of your profit to your employees. Or maybe support or managerial personnel are going to be getting commission on sales and invoices either in addition to or separate from the employee making the sale, so the salesperson. Or you could be a services-based company and you sell your time. And maybe you want to incentivize your employees by paying them a percentage of the profit that they get for timesheets that are billed to a customer. How is this commonly managed? I don't know if any of you can guess, but most of the people that come to me and want to talk to me about how they can improve their commissions, they're doing commissions in a spreadsheet. It's either Google Docs or Excel. But either way, they are removing their data from their source of truth, so their sales or their accounting platform, and they're manually entering it into a spreadsheet. So not only are they duplicating work, but there's also the potential for them to miss data points. We just talked about some of the data points you can use when calculating your commissions or tracking the payouts that are required, but that's not all of the data points that are possible. And I think we all know that any time spent duplicating work is time that you are throwing away. It's not really adding anything to your business. It's just something that has to be done, and so you're spending time on that. And if you look at it from the perspective of the employee who has commissions as part of their pay structure, missed data points or a lack of visibility can be very detrimental to them, right? So if you miss paying a commission or you miscalculate a commission, and especially if they can't see how their commissions are calculated and what's being paid out, then that can be a real problem for the employee. There has to be a better way. Of course there's a better way, otherwise we wouldn't be talking today. So right out of the box in Odoo, the first thing I'm going to show you is spreadsheets, right? So Odoo has spreadsheet functionality, and immediately we see a template for sales commission. So let's go ahead and create that and use one of those, and we can take a look at how this is managed. Okay. So right here, we can see this is just a template, right? You can modify it. But this template is calculating a commission rate across all salespeople that is based on the category of the products that are being invoiced. And if we come over here and we do a little bit of scrolling, we're going to get to October where we have some data. So this is calculating commissions, and that's a really great start. It's automatic. Nobody's needing to remove data from their source of truth. It's all there. So some things that we could maybe improve about this would be tweaking it to be a percentage of all sales or based on products themselves. there are lots of things that can be modified, and Odoo gives you the power to modify these things in spreadsheets. So this is a great start, but there's also potentially some improvement here, right? So this spreadsheet is showing all employees. I know that in the United States, commissions and pay details are not legally required to be kept quiet, but most people do keep that information pretty safeguarded. So there's a way around that. You could have one of these spreadsheets for each of your employees so they could still track their own commissions without exposing it to anybody else. That would be a better option. But I have an even better way. I think so anyways. So today we're going to be discussing Hibou Commissions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the settings. And as I go through the settings, I'm going to try to call out the pros and cons of the different settings and which ones might work for you based on your use case. So coming back over to Odoo, we're going to hop into settings and search for commissions. So right here, we have the ability to pay commissions via payroll. So we will touch on that. But that's one setting here to be enabled. But let's really talk about the configuration of the commissions itself, just like the core configuration. So first, we have a journal. I've set that up for as a miscellaneous journal type. And then the accounting is a commission salary expense. Could you just use a normal, like the standard expense account or your salary expense account? You absolutely could. But I've talked to a lot of accountants. They like things to be nice and clean and slice and diceable. So we're going to keep a separate commission salary expense account for that reason. And then we have the liability account. So this is your liability to those employees. Again, I made a one for just commissions accrued, and it's the type of current liability. You don't have to set a liability account. If you don't set a liability account, it is going to use the employee's private address. If anybody's not familiar with what an employee's private address is, this is an address that is set, or rather a contact that is set on the employee record that tracks the ledger of that employee. That has a restricted access, so there's a setting, technical setting on users to see private addresses, and it's a way of, again, protecting some of this like pay information about employees and not exposing that to all others. Then we get down to the how we want to pay the commission. So when do we want to make a commission eligible for payout to an employee? You have two options here. One is on invoice validation. So you post the invoice, commissions immediately available to pay the employee, or on invoice paid. So some do like to do the on invoice validation, but I'm going to go on record and say that my personal best practice that I convey to others is to do it when the invoice has had a payment applied. I'm going to keep saying this. Commissions tend to be about profit sharing. So paying out a commission before if you even know if you're going to get payment for an invoice may not be the best option for you. But if you'd like it, that option is there. Then we have the commission base. How are we going to calculate the commission percentage? So on invoice margin, again, this is what I consider to be the best practice. So what this does is it incentivizes employees to make deals that are not only good for the employee, but also for the business. It encourages them not to sell below margin or sell at very low margins. On invoice total, it's exactly what it says it is. And then on invoice total tax excluded, I'm not making any money on taxes collected. I don't think anybody else is. So again, you might want to exclude that from your commission calculation. So that way we are only paying on our profit. And then the last setting we have here is commission margin threshold. So you can leave this at 0, but what this is actually intended to provide is an automatic way of excluding products from commissions if they are a low margin product. So separate from having margin on your invoice, this is if you have a product that has a very low commission or a very low margin, you may not want to pay commission on that. So this will automatically exclude products from commission calculation if their margin falls below 15%. All right, I'm 10 minutes in. I think I got to speed up a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at the employee contracts because that's our next step here. So we're going to look at this employee contract. I'm going to touch on the admin commission and the timesheet commission here in just a minute. But right now, the commission percentage right here for this employee is set to 3%. So based on our configuration, when an invoice is created, we will get where this employee is the salesperson, which gets automatically copied from the sales order to the invoice on invoice creation. When that gets posted, we're going to create the commission, and then when the invoice is paid, we're going to confirm the commission for payment. So if we go back out to orders, and let's go ahead. Bakery Essentials seems as good as any. We'll buy some chocolate chip cookies here. $5. They're very good cookies. All right, so we see our margin is $47.60 for these cookies. Let's go ahead and confirm this. Okay, that's some credit limit functionality we have. This customer has overdue invoices, but I feel confident they're going to pay these invoices, so we're going to proceed. Deliver these products so we can invoice them based on our invoicing policy. Okay, you know what? We're just going to do that one more time because I didn't change the salesperson. So we weren't going to get any commissions there. Rinse and repeat. For what it's worth, always check that you're actually delivering the amount of goods you say you are. All right, now let's go ahead and create our invoice. All right, so we have posted the invoice, so we have a commission that has been created, still in the new status. This isn't something that's eligible for payout based on our configuration. So we have a couple status here: paid, canceled, think those are self-explanatory. New was just created, and confirmed is going to be a commission that's considered eligible for payout to the employee. So right here, we have a lot of information, and I'll show you how the employee can access these details as well. We know this commission was created based on the employee's contract. We know what invoice this commission is generated from. We know the percentage, and then we also know the base total. So this was the total amount of the invoice, but that is not what their commission is being calculated off of. Based on our configuration, it's being calculated off the margin to give us a total of $1.43 in commissions. So if we hop back out to this invoice, let's register payment. And now this commission is confirmed, so it would be eligible for payment to the employee. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to contracts and not contacts. And we're going to look at another employee here, Fen, and we're going to look at the other configuration options I mentioned. So here we have admin commission and timesheet commission. So admin commission is going to give this employee commissions on any invoice where they are set as the coach for the salesperson. So this is operating as a sort of like support or managerial role where they're assisting with the sale. They're not necessarily making it, but they will earn commissions off of it. And then we have our timesheet commission, so based on timesheets. So if we go back to our employees here and we take a quick look at Ella, our pastry chef, we will see that Finn is set as the coach. So if Ella makes an order, Finn gets money out of it. Let's go ahead and do that. Do our cookies again. You got it. All right. Maybe I should choose a different contact. That would be helpful. Go ahead and deliver these. And now we invoice. Can anybody guess what's going to happen? Hey, we got a commission. All right, so now Finn gets a commission. It's that 1% because he is the coach for Ella. Stepping back out here, let's go ahead and create another order. And this time we're going to sell something that is based on timesheets. So we're selling some consultations here. And we can just leave the salesperson as is. This is Theodore as the salesperson for this contact. Confirm this. We're going to go ahead and get that task, and let's make a timesheet on behalf of Finn. All right. We'll invoice this. And we see that we have that 2% commission that is based on timesheets. So now we've had the opportunity to see some of the configuration that comes from the contract and the outcomes that come out of that. Let's pay this invoice. And let's switch over to the view of the employees themselves. So here we have Finn. And Finn can get in and he can look at his commissions. So he can't see anybody else's commissions, but he can come in and see a filtered view that is just for him, where he knows what commissions are being generated, which ones are eligible or not eligible for payment. And he can look at any of these commissions at any time and see how they were calculated, why they were calculated, where they come from. So he has total visibility into his commissions. Likewise, if we come over here to this other employee, we have the same thing. So the employee has complete visibility at all times. There's a lot of transparency. They don't have to guess. If they have any questions, of course, they can contact you, but there's probably not going to be a lot of questions about this. So let's go back here now to create as the administrator or the accountant. We're going to go ahead and go into our commissions menu where we can see all the commissions. And we're going to group this by the status. We have some commissions here that are confirmed. I'm actually going to go ahead and pay one more of these invoices. All right. And let's go ahead and mark these 3 that are in the confirmed state as paid. So we're making a commission payment object here. So the employees, again, will be able to see this. So they're going to know that the next time they get paid out on their commissions, what commissions they're being paid out for. They'll see the number of commissions, the total amount of the commissions, and then where these commissions were generated from. So they have access to all of this. I'm going to report this in the next payslip, and then we're going to go ahead and run a payslip for that employee. And compute our sheet. And right here, we have a smart button to the commission. So we know what commissions are being paid out on this payslip. And if you go into the other inputs, you will see that a line has been added for that commission amount. And additionally, in the salary computation, hooking into our payroll localization, we have added commissions into the basic category for payroll calculations. Okay, so let's quickly go over the product exclusion functionality. So if we go ahead and we look at our products here, we have chocolate. Our dark chocolate here has a very low percentage. And go ahead and take my word for it that our pretzels do as well. And then on the cookie press here, we also have a way to manually exclude products from commission. So you can have the automatic exclusion, and you can also manually exclude products. Say it's hard to get or something like that, you can choose to exclude that. Let's go back to one of these orders. Duplicate this here, and let's add a product that we know has a low percentage of margin, and maybe our cookie press as well. Okay, that product's out of stock, our cookie press. I'm gonna quickly plan it and try to fulfill it from a second warehouse here. Let's see. All right. Do that really quickly so we can just split it. We'll confirm this, and then we'll go ahead and we will fulfill both those orders, and then we'll look at the resulting commission from the invoice. create our invoice. Okay, and confirm. All right, so when we look at the commissions, we had other products on here added to the invoice total. It even added to the invoice margin, but we are still only calculating the base amount off of those cookies because the other products were either automatically excluded for low margin or manually excluded. So that's a good way to manage kind of product sets that may not be eligible for commissions. The very last thing I want to show you is something that comes up very often, which is more than one person gets a commission when an order is placed for a specific customer, or maybe even you have a referral program and people outside of your organization are getting commissions whenever an invoice is created for a customer. So there's a very easy way to handle this. If we go to our contacts here and we look at Peter, we will see in the accounting tab, we have a setting for commission structure. So what this commission structure does is it can override the percentage on an employee's contract, so they can get a higher commission when this customer is invoiced, maybe because they referred them, or multiple people can get commissions every time this customer is invoiced. So if we go back out to Peter and we make another sale for him, go ahead and do our cookies. And we will actually let's leave Theo as the salesperson here. Man, all of our customers have overdue invoices. I should really look into that. Okay, so I left Theo as the salesperson here. Theo is not a part of the commission structure, and so he didn't receive any commissions when this invoice was validated. But the two employees that are a part of our commission structure, they did receive their commissions. And we can see right here that the rate for this employee, which was 3%, which we looked at earlier, has been overridden due to this structure, and they have now received 5% commission on the base total of this invoice. All right, so with that in mind, I think I'm right around on time. Are there any questions I can help answer for anybody today? Okay.
Hello. Can you calculate commissions based on quota attainment?
Based on what?
Quota. So you set a goal, a quota, like you have to sell 100, and depending on how much the salesperson actually sold on a percentage of the goal, you get more or less.
I see what you're saying. So you set a goal, and then depending on how close they get to their goal, they get like a structured percentage.
Yeah.
You cannot do that out of the box with these commission modules. However, they are highly extensible and customizable. So we do often kind of layer additional customizations on these modules. That sounds like something that would be very possible to do. It's just not going to be out of the box.
Okay, thank you.
Can I do a follow-up question? Sorry. Good morning, congratulations. Just a follow-up question. And out of the box on standard, is there any variation of what you showed? Not exactly this question, but is there any variation, or this is it? The percentage in terms of the commissions calculations? So
the commissions are purely calculated off of percentages right now. So okay. Yeah, so basically you have the standard commission, the admin commission, timesheet commission percentage, but they're all percentages currently.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I think we have a question on the chat.
Okay.
Can you also give commission to non-employees?
You absolutely can. That's a great question. So the commission structure, if we go ahead and I come back over here, so if we look at that contact, a little bit of a hack, so to speak, in how you do this. But these commission structures, right here you're selecting an employee. So if you want to pay somebody outside of the company as like part of a referral program, to do it out of the box with what we have here, you would make an employee for that external resource. Do they have to actually be an employee? Do they need to have the full setup or anything like that? No. So, but you do need to have an employee ID to select them here, but that's actually incredibly common. We have a lot of people that will set up third-party referrers, people that are going door to door to make sales. They will set them up, make an employee and a contract, or just an employee, and then use the commission structure to automatically generate that percentage amount. And then just like with every other kind of employee or contact, this commission is just going to go to their partner ledger. So they don't have to pay it via payroll. They can simply mark it as paid and then cut a check to that external referrer.
All right, thank you. This is the last question for the Q&A session. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very much.